I'm back and I'm reacting to your comments once again, featuring Nasty Niah, the slightly less sweet version of Niah who says whatever the fuck she thinks, and Nice Niah, the sweeter version of Niah who's usually in charge of responding to your comments.
I know what you're saying, but I don't go around commenting that on like Make-A-Wish kids pages. Like, you can't say that. Like, if someone's ill, they're ill. Like, it's not your job to tell them that they're gonna be fine. It's your job to support them. Like, you can't just tell someone who's not fine that everything's fine. I think above anything else, I'm not well, and I have to take that into consideration. Like, it can't all be about, you know, we need to do the cheapest thing here and we need to do the cheapest thing there, because at the end of the day, I need to do what's best for me and my health. But I don't know why you keep cussing. Bitch, because I can. Fake, lol. That's not even an allergy, so stop trying to get attention. Should I do this one? With Lolo said, now you're acting real shady and greedy. The fuck? Hi. Do you know what? I knew this bitch was going to be late. I don't know why. I tried to keep to a timescale. What's the point in arranging to film a video with her and she never turns up on fucking time? Yeah, I know she's got bad skin, but so have I, bitch. I'm here on time. What's her excuse?
Look, I'm sorry, okay? Traffic was so bad.
Hi. Decided to turn up, did you?
I had to get something to eat before I got here.
Yeah, we love an excuse. I should have come up with one of those.
It's not an excuse. It's genuine. I was just running late because I got...
Okay, while you get settled, I was thinking, I'll read out the questions and you answer, so we don't get in trouble.
Because I'm the nicer one.
And if you need backup, then I'm here. Well, I mean, if you need me to shout a bitch down, then I'm here. Obviously, you don't go straight in with that, but it's nice to have it there as backup. Now, these people get rude in these comments. I understand you haven't done one of these in a while, but do you remember some of the things that people used to say to you when you did these videos? I'm just here to answer people's questions. You can't just sit here and smile all the time and be like, thanks for your comment. Like, nah, stick up for yourself, B.
I know. I don't do that.
See, there's a nice one to start off with. This one's not even bad.
Alright, what is it then?
You'll be in your element answering this. So it says, when your mother came in and asked if you were hungry, I bawled. Miha, I'm so sorry you have to go through this. You are so strong, and although you show us your weakness, it's truly a strength.
You're right, that is really nice. Thank you so much. Comments like that make me so happy because they're so far and few between. Like, I don't know. I find that people are more often horrible than they are nice. And I just want you guys to know that I appreciate you.
I think this one's for me. This one says, fake, lol. That's not even an allergy, so stop trying to get attention. Should I do this one? You got it?
I can do this one.
You sure you don't want me to do it? I can do this one.
No, I'll come to you if I need to.
No. Okay.
I can do this one. So, my illness isn't fake. Lord fucking knows I wish it was. But it's not, and I genuinely feel that anyone who would come online and fake an illness like this for clout has a more serious illness going on, to be honest.
But the thing is, you'd go on about this forever. But yeah,
everything that you see on my channel is the truth.
It's not going to restore people's compassion.
No, literally, like, I'm not going to sit here and try and disprove people.
Someone else put, why are you collecting the money in pounds? Not only do donors have to change euros to pounds, you'll have to change pounds to euros again later. The exchange rate fluctuates, however, and fees apply for every change.
That's actually not true. Like, people think that's true, but that's not true, because both PayPal and GoFundMe actually convert it for you and they give you the best exchange rate that they can give you. So when it actually gets withdrawn, or when it goes into my account, it automatically gets converted into pounds, even if donations come in euros. But I've had donations in dollars, euros, pounds. Like, it's whatever. Like, money is money, and the doctors will still accept it.
Fair enough. Next one, someone put, I don't know why you keep cussing. Bitch, because I can. What do you mean you don't know why I keep cussing? Because this was on a realistic morning and afternoon routine with an allergy to water. Like, are you actually telling me that if you lived having allergic reactions multiple times a day from multiple different things, you telling me you're not going to want to cuss? Like, you're either really young or you haven't seen hardship. I don't know which one it is, but I can say that. When I see someone swearing every other word, I don't think, oh my god, why are they swearing so much, they're so rude. I think, I'm not going to try this person because they got frustrations that I'm not even trying to delve into. Like, you want to swear every other sentence, then you swear every other sentence. I mean, and so will I.
Oh yeah, that's fair point.
Oh, I hate this one. You read this one. I'm not even trying to say that out loud.
What does it say? Everything will be fine. You'll be fine.
I mean, she said it with confidence, so I guess thank you, but
That's a nice thing to say.
I know it's a nice thing to say, but what? Can this bitch be my doctor? Like, she's sounding very optimistic. How does she know?
She's just trying to look forward and be positive.
Yeah, I know she's being positive. Like,
Don't get mad at her.
I know what you're saying, but I don't go around commenting that on, like, Make-A-Wish kids' pages. Like,
You can't say that.
like, if someone's ill, they're ill. Like, it's not your job to tell them that they're going to be fine. It's your job to support them and tell them that they can deal with it.
Okay, I see your
that they
point,
can
but-
beat it, or they can handle whatever life is going to throw at them. Like, you can't just tell someone who's not fine that everything's fine. I always looked at it like this. She has to wash her face at some point, so might as well do some makeup. Yes, a girl after
Period.
my own heart. Thank you for seeing things the way that I see it. Not a lot of people see it this way. Like, a lot of people
No,
see
a lot of people
me
disagree.
applying makeup, even though I have this illness, as proof that I'm not that ill, or as proof that my pain levels can't be that bad. But the
That's
idea that someone
bullshit.
has to look like shit in order to be feeling like shit is just so stupid to me. Illnesses can be very invisible now. Like, we know that better than anyone. And don't you just love it when people actually take the time to think, like, how would I feel if I loved makeup and I became allergic to water? Like, would I want to wear it sometimes anyway and feel good about myself, and then just go through the pain that I would usually go through anyway to wash my face?
Probably.
Or would I just drop it and not touch it again because I'm ill and because I don't deserve to do things that I love when I'm ill? Like, it's not... I feel like you're so prone to depression anyway when you become ill or when you have a chronic illness. Like, it's... Why is it expected of us to just...
Carry on.
To just drop it all? Like, it doesn't make sense. I think it's much fairer on our mental well-being to, like, just do the things that we love when we can, like, around the illness.
I agree.
Because some days you're not going to feel like death. You know, some days you are going to have energy to put some lashes on, and I feel like you should. Since your last video when you use sweatbands, I've started using them too, and they are so useful. I don't have an allergy to water, but I find they stop water running down your arms when you're washing at the sink, especially when you're wearing long sleeves, and there's nothing worse than having wet sleeves. This actually makes me so happy that, like, my struggle and my illness has actually helped someone in their everyday life, because I feel like we can all relate to this. Like, everyone knows. I remember this being something that annoyed me before I had acrogenic pruritus. I love that things that I've picked up from being allergic to water and having to, like, live and cope with this. I literally love that other people have picked up some tips, like just everyday life tips that
Life
can help them.
hacks.
Because yeah, I remember that is annoying. Like, just the water running down your arms constantly. Like, even if you're not allergic to water, who's got time? Young lady, you don't need wigs. I think you should do this one. Is this one for me? You're right, I don't need wigs, but I like wigs. They've really helped me out in a time that I otherwise wouldn't have known what to do. Like, last year I cut my hair off, so I did the big chop. All of my natural hair was gone, and without wigs I wouldn't have had the confidence to carry on making content. A lot of my content is based around hair and beauty and makeup, and a lot of the looks that I had in mind wouldn't have worked if I hadn't have relied on wigs at that time. So I certainly don't see wigs as a bad thing, and I'm not sure why a lot of society really does. I feel that people think, oh, you wear a wig, you've got no hair, or oh, you wear a wig, you can't be bothered to do something with your real hair, but it's just not true. Like, Beyonce wears wigs, Megan Thee Stallion wears wigs, Nicki Minaj wears wigs, all of your favourite celebrities wear wigs, even Kylie Jenner wears wigs. Like, it's a way of being able to get pure versatility out of your look, but without damaging your hair and yourself in the process. Like, I've had so many different hairstyles over the past couple of years, and that is down to wigs. If I'd have attempted that with my natural hair, I'd probably be bald.
I would have been bald a long time ago.
But now it's quite the opposite. I've grown my natural hair to longer now than it was before I cut it. And I'm happy with it. Like, we got to stop feeling like we are entitled to comment on things that we're not being asked. You know, the same way that we wouldn't walk up to someone in the street and tell them that they are overweight, or that they don't look healthy, or they look like they need to eat more. Like, no, we don't do that. So I don't know why people feel like they can do that online, but please don't do that to me. It's not my vibe, and I didn't ask. Don't be rude about it though. What? I know they meant well. It's true. Everyone deserves to receive health treatment, no matter their background, and I hope you get all the treatment you need and deserve. A suggestion to try reduce costs is to maybe look into different transport, like travelling by car. Not sure if it would be better, but worth looking into if you haven't already. Do you remember we did look into this before we went? So it's kind of difficult because we, of course, are looking into minimising our travel costs as much as possible. Like the last trip, we did that as much as possible. Like we took a train instead of flying. You know, we hired a car instead of like trying to get Ubers around and stuff like that, because either way I'm going from the UK, things like travel, food and just living expenses are going to cost. Our accommodation wasn't particularly expensive, and next time I go back my accommodation is going to be included in the hospital price, as obviously I'll be staying at the hospital as opposed to in my own accommodation. I didn't really want to look into travelling by car because of the fact that the train itself was draining enough and it was so tiring for me. Like I had allergic reactions on the train, even just from going to the toilet, or if I get a bit hot or overheated, I will start having an allergic reaction. And I just feel like in a car and on a train, that is exceptionally uncomfortable because the space is limited. The train, there's people around you that you may need to like start explaining to, or you may feel self-conscious, and simply for the fact that both journeys take that bit longer if you're driving and if you're on a train. So when I do go back to Germany, I will be getting on an aeroplane simply for the fact that I need to travel in comfort. I think above anything else, I'm not well, and I have to take that into consideration. Like it can't all be about, you know, we need to do the cheapest thing here and we need to do the cheapest thing there, because at the end of the day I need to do what's best for me and my health, and the real costs aren't coming from the travel and the fact that the clinic is in Germany. The costs are coming from the fact that I'm now having to pay for private medical care. Like the cost doesn't come from the planes and the trains and the accommodations as much. The real chunks of money and the real lumps of money, like that money is going straight to the hospital and to the doctors, and there's no real way that I can minimise costs when it comes to paying the doctors, because the doctors are the doctors and they are going to do the tests and the job that they need to do, and their worth is their worth. So there's no costs that I can really cut in that area. As a rule, private medical care is cheaper in Germany than it is in the UK. So although I am paying that little bit extra to travel and to stay in Germany, it's not costing more than it would in the UK. Like the cost and the high target isn't because of the fact that I'm being seen in Germany, it's because of the illness that I have and the fact that it's a private medical care situation now. So although I appreciate comments like this, I can assure you that I've looked into every possible area where money can be saved, and it's just a case that private medical care is expensive. It costs a lot of money and there's not that much we can do about that. The next person has said, just a thought, please keep in mind I live in the US, so forgive me if I'm missing something, but would your doctor there run some of the tests Germany wants to run under the NHS or insurance, and at least rule out hepatitis C and a few of the other potential diagnoses? I'll let you answer this one. I'm getting my crisps. Sorry, I'm hungry. So the reason that the NHS can't undergo these tests... You're being really loud. Just talk louder. But basically, it costs a lot of money for the NHS to do these same tests, and the NHS doesn't always have the funding or the authorisation to go ahead with these tests if they're requested. So the way that I'm being viewed at the moment is that I have a long list of tests that I would like to be done, because I
obviously have quite a few symptoms that are unexplained at the moment, but the doctors don't see it to be quite as important to do those tests. For example, I would like them to keep checking for cancers, especially polycythemia vera, which is a blood cancer, which can often cause this type of itch. But the NHS doctors are only allowed to test for that every so often because of funding. So although there are some tests in the UK that I have had done or could get done here instead of in Germany, there's no saying that they're going to be anywhere near as thorough, and plus I wouldn't have any control over how quickly I get the results that I need for those tests, so I couldn't guarantee that the doctors in Germany get accurate results or get them on time. And although it is going to cost for me to have these tests done in Germany, it is actually a lot more likely that they're going to be a lot more thorough and that they may actually find the root of the problem, which in the UK we have been searching for over 5 years, and we still can't find a root of the problem aside from the diagnosis of aquagenic pruritus. But then at the same time, I also haven't responded well to any treatments for aquagenic pruritus, which does suggest that maybe something else is going on and we're maybe treating the wrong thing. So although the testing could be done in the UK, or some of the testing at least could be done in the UK, the doctors actually having belief that they could be searching for something a little bit more serious, as opposed to me having to kind of beg to be checked more thoroughly, which is kind of the vibe I get in the UK. Vibe with Lolo said, "Now you're acting real shady and greedy. The fuck." Am I going to answer this, or this one of me? The thing that gets me about all of this is that to go online and try to fundraise simply to get answers for a disease that causes you debilitating pain every single day, the fact that money is the only solution to getting those answers is terrifying. Like, the fact that we live in a world that actually requires us to have financial means in order to get the tests that we need to find out if we have a serious illness like hepatitis C or cancer. Like, I see my journey so far with the NHS as incredibly unlucky. And the reason that I've had to search for clout online as well as a diagnosis and as well as a way to get better is because the doctors aren't paying the situation that I'm in enough attention. The NHS doctors, that is. The NHS doesn't have enough cases of this where they can confidently invest money into research for this illness. Absolutely, I want it to get to a stage where the NHS does have money to invest into research in this illness, and that can only happen by raising awareness and making people worldwide know that this condition is a real medical condition. Now, I guess you could say that I am being greedy because I am so invested in my own medical situation that I'm not prepared to sacrifice my chance of getting the right diagnosis. But in order for me to be able to help other young people getting the diagnoses that they're looking for and finding the energy and the power to fight in a field where it is normal that if you apply any pressure or demand any answers, you are seen as being a problem. Diseases are on the rise, cancer's on the rise, autoimmune conditions are on the rise, and I feel like it's really important to me to demonstrate how you can go and get the answers that you need, even if you are being told no, if you're being told not to worry by doctor after doctor. Like, it's not always the case. You know your body and you know when something isn't right. This situation is so much bigger than the money. The money is a huge amount and I appreciate that, but my journey is with the aim, obviously God willing, that we don't find anything more serious when I do go back to Germany. I want doctors to have to look a bit deeper before they tell you that there's nothing to worry about. I want, if I go back to Germany and they find an underlying condition that hasn't been picked up in the UK, I want to know why. And I want to know how many other people in the UK is that happening to. I don't feel like I'm being greedy or shady for wanting answers. I'm not taking this money and running with it. I am sharing this journey online with other people in the hope that it will inspire and show other people that there can be hope when doctors have told you that there's nothing they can do. You know, when doctors tell you that there's nothing wrong with you or that you've just got this condition and that you'll have to learn to live with it. Like, and we shouldn't have to feel like we have to settle for being told that we have an illness and we've got to commit to a life of suffering. Like, I want more than that for myself, and I want more than that for other young people who are relying on the NHS to care for them and to screen them and to check that your symptoms aren't something that may later down the line end up hurting you or killing you. Like, there is every chance that the symptoms that I'm describing to my doctors and ones that I have been speaking to my doctors about for all of this time, there is the chance that they could be something more serious. So while a lot of you are just looking at the money and the target that I've set for this, it's because I don't know how long this is going to go on for. I'm not sure how deep they're going to have to dig to find an answer for me. Someone else put, I literally got diagnosed with academic pruritus this afternoon, and this video is helping me so much. Thank you so much for sharing your story. I feel less overwhelmed by this whole thing. That literally makes me so happy, knowing that my journey and my story has made you feel less alone in yours. That is truly all I wanted when I began this journey on YouTube and teaching people online about what I was going through. Like, all I wanted was for people like you who were getting the diagnosis, it's a new diagnosis, to just not feel like their life was over and things can get better. But thank you so much for leaving this comment. It means the world to me, honestly. The Unclassified Gamer said, I doubt this is real. There's always one. Honestly, you can doubt it as much as you want, but the truth is that this is my life. And, you know, in life we have a lot of doubts, but it doesn't mean that they're all fact. Like, I doubt that you've lost your virginity, but I could be wrong. What? I said I could be wrong. He's just a random subscriber. Your comment doesn't change my reality. I have this illness. Someone else said, hey, I hope you can get the treatment you need. That said, asking for $250,000 before you even receive the first bill seems like an overkill. The first bill turned out to be only about $6,000, so maybe you could take it slower and initially ask for $50,000 or so. You can always start another round if needed. So with this one, I see where you're coming from, but there is always the chance that you haven't been here from the beginning of the treatment journey, which would make sense as to why you'd feel like this. But I just wanted to clear up that initially my target was much lower, and I was told by the hospital to prepare for worst case scenario. They told me to prepare for open-ended appointments, open-ended treatment, and I'm sure, as you can imagine, that would be a significant amount of money, quite likely even as much as the amount that I've asked for. So while £250,000 is a serious amount of money in the world of private medical care, and when dealing with a condition that is as rare and as difficult to treat and diagnose as mine, the target that I've set may not even be enough because of the fact that we don't know where this is going to go. I'm sure if I was at home and looking on at this, maybe I would have those thoughts of being like, £250,000, you know, that's such a lot of money, which it is. But I'm just begging you guys to remember that this isn't so I can run off and buy a bag. It's not to restore my wardrobe. It is simply to get me to a level of health that my quality of life comes back, where I hopefully won't be having multiple allergic reactions in a day, where I won't be in debilitating pain, where I won't be screaming and crying with no one able to help me after I simply do a wee or have a bath or have a wash. Like, it is such a serious and rare situation. Although I understand your concerns about the money, I also understand from the doctor's side that this may take them years to understand what's going on. Like I've said so many times, I've been in treatment already for over 6 years with the NHS, and if we were to imagine this situation as maybe that restarting, so if I were to go another 6 years under the doctors in Germany, how much money would I need? How many appointments would I get through? Because right now, yes, the first bill is only £6,000. I say only £6,000, but that in perspective is my second appointment, which means without any travel costs, any food costs, any accommodation costs, none of that included, I've already spent £7,000. That has just gone to the hospital, and that's 2 appointments. So when we think of it like that, you know, although it may seem the more sensible thing to raise the money in parts and to, you know, like you say, put the money up if I need more money. I don't know what the right thing to do is right now because I've never done this before, and all I want is to be prepared for anything. If I go back to Germany and they tell me I have the C word or something else, I want to be able to proceed with treatment as soon as possible. So I'm doing the waiting now, trying to endure the suffering now in the hope that if the money does get there, I'll be able to go full steam ahead and pay the hospital for the care that I need. I have noticed something lately. Every YouTuber with a rare health condition has a makeup channel. Looking straight at you, Adalia. Why? Not trying to be offensive, but I have noticed that. I hate this comment. What a wild concept that people with incurable illnesses, lifelong health conditions, may need an outlet. Like, how insane that they may need a hobby or something that they love to balance out the unhappiness that comes with being incurably ill. Yeah, every YouTuber with a rare health condition, like, I would encourage that if they're into makeup, that they have a makeup channel, because makeup saved my life in so many ways. Like, when I became ill, I was so suicidal. I had no reason, no purpose, no want to carry on living. And if I hadn't have found a hobby, a passion, a love for makeup, would I still be here? No. So, although you're not trying to be offensive, as humans, we have a responsibility to put ourselves in other people's shoes. People with chronic illness have every right to search for purpose and to search for something to give them meaning in their lives. And maybe you should try and visualize what your life may feel like with so many physical restrictions on it. Sometimes all people have are these little things like makeup, you know, art and music. Because we're ill, it doesn't mean we have to cut off our love or our passion for those things. I just feel that it's very exposing of the way that society views disabled people. They view them as non-human and unable to do normal things, and it's just not always true. Someone else put, don't always be devastated. I know that your life can be difficult, but you need to learn how to deal with a rare disease.
What the hell kind of...
I mean, I want to answer this one, but I'm
that is weird. I get a lot of comments like this where people basically just suggest that I kind of like just live with it or man up, like take it in your stride. If you've come to my channel and perceived everything that I'm doing as for the sake of getting attention or pity or anything else, then you can fuck off, because it's not true. Someone has commented saying 2 words: painkillers. The thing is that painkillers don't actually work for my illness, and I've said this so many times. It's a good idea, but they don't work, and I really just wish that you'd kind of dug a bit deeper before saying something so obvious, because I don't know, I don't feel like I look silly, I feel like you do. But that's just my opinion. Finnegan. The way I'd just be minding my own business if my name was Finnegan. Stop. So you guys, that is the finished video. This has been Nasty Niah and Nice Niah
reacting to your comments. I have had so much fun. Have you?
Yeah, it's been alright.
Do you guys like this new format as well, where there's 2 of us? Like, how are you feeling about it? I'll wait for you to leave a comment, but whilst you're doing that, can you just please make sure that you're subscribing to our channel. Make sure that you've got your post notifications turned on so that you never miss out on any of our new uploads. If you're not already, then make sure that you're heading over to social media, following us over on us. I have to say us because there's 2 of us, but it seems weird. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat and TikTok. As always, angels, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video.